We cannot keep comparing wrestling games on Nintendo consoles to WWE's No Mercy. What is going on, guys? Mike here with Chit Chat Gaming. So today I want to talk a little bit about AEW's Fight Forever. Not so much the details, we'll kind of go into that just a tad bit, but more about the Nintendo Switch version, because let's be 100% honest, guys, us Switch fans, us wrestling fans, have always kind of gotten put in the dark when it comes to the Nintendo Switch wrestling games. So again, I kind of want to talk about that because really we haven't really seen much focus around it. We haven't really heard a whole lot. And this takes me back to the days of WWE 2K23 or 2K18. I'm sorry, not 23, 2K18. So AEW's Fight Forever was supposed to be released here in 2022, but now it's being pushed to 2023. It looks to be around February. No exact date yet, but they're shooting for around February of 2023. It sounds like here. Again, that could get pushed off as well here too. But again, though, I want to go and talk about that because this is going to be a lot of us were excited because this is going to be like a classic arcade style wrestling game. Now we've seen quite a bit of those, for a while now here, even on the Switch. Games like Retromania Wrestling, games like WWE Battlegrounds, and games like Action Arcade Wrestling as well here too. We have seen come up, on Nintendo Switch, and they all run pretty well. Now, granted, Battlegrounds was not the greatest game in the world, but it still ran on the Switch. Retromania was a fun game. It ran well on the Switch, and Action Arcade Wrestling is just an all-out crazy arcade style wrestling game, and it runs great on the Nintendo Switch as well here too. So I always go back and look at WWE's 2K18 and holy crap, do we have a horrible mess with that game. I want nothing to do with anything like that. That's how a simulation style, like a realistic style wrestling game is going to run on Switch. Don't do it. Just keep bringing over these arcade style games. So AEW's Fight Forever, like I mentioned, is going to be an arcade style wrestling game. It's developed by Yuke's, who, if you know them, they worked on a lot of games like the Nintendo 64 wrestling games, and even some of the later on WWE wrestling games, up until not too long ago when they left the company and decided to start developing for AEW, which is a huge thing for them as well here too, because let's just say it, the track record for Yuke's is absolutely insane. AEW's Fight Forever, though, like I mentioned, is going to be a game that's going to have all different kinds of play styles as well here too. It's going to have, of course, your typical one-on-one matches, tag team, triple threat, etc. But it's going to have things like the Casino Battle Royale, the Lights Out match, barbed wire death matches and such as well too. Games that we haven't seen in previous, WWE style games anyways here. Yes, we've seen Battle Royale styles, but this is going to be more geared to the AEW style. I, for one, am excited about this. Of course, we've seen some of the stars, we've seen some of the gameplay and such as well too. We've seen some entrances, which I don't even know for sure 100% what's going on there with that. I'm not too sure if you're going to get a full entrance or just a half entrance, like they did back in the old days as well too in some of the wrestling games. But I want to think that we're going to get full entrances from what I've heard, but again, we don't know for sure. The other big news is that CM Punk, of course, was on the cover of the game, and he has since then been removed. He will still be in the game as well here too, as well as people like Cody Rhodes, who is now working for WWE, will still be in the game. So that, for one, is great news. We're also going to have online gameplay as well, so that's always definitely a huge thing to hear as well too, because all of us love that. As long as it runs steady, it doesn't run like ass, then we're gonna be good there. So again, though, this is not the whole topic of the video here today. I mainly want to talk about Nintendo Switch and what's going to happen here. So we cannot keep comparing wrestling games on Nintendo consoles to WWE's No Mercy. That's one of the main problems we had, and the same problem happened with WWE Battlegrounds. Everybody started comparing that to WWE All-Stars, and yes, I know we want that same feeling of a wrestling game, but we have to stop doing that. Games like No Mercy, yes, are fantastic. Nintendo 64 games are great. I still play them to this day. Even games like WCW's WCW Revenge here, or WCW vs. NWO Revenge, great game here. A lot of fun. And then also we have, games like WrestleMania 2000, which is also a great game. Actually, I always kind of prefer WrestleMania 2000 over No Mercy. But again, though, great game, all developed by Yuke's as well here too. But let's compare it to another great Nintendo exclusive on the GameCube, and that's the Day of Reckoning series. It sounds like to me that Fight Forever is going to be a lot like No Mercy, WrestleMania, Revenge, mixed with some of WWE's Day of Reckoning series as well here too, which is an arcade style game full entrances, just a fantastic wrestling game. I, for one, this is like one of my favorite wrestling games here, next to like the SmackDown, you know, Here Comes the Pain and such as well here too. But again though, fantastic game. I actually prefer this game over some of the Nintendo 64 games. Obviously better graphics, but just all in all, the mechanics and just the style of the game. I love the arcade style wrestling games. They're a lot of fun. Yes, it's great to dip into, you know, the realistic, you know, simulation style wrestling games as well here too. But every once in a while though, you have to get, you know, the arcade style wrestling games in there as well here too. So that's why I'm excited for Fight Forever. But the thing is that we haven't really heard too much about Nintendo Switch version. I hope we hear some more things here. I hope we see some gameplay. I hope they don't wait until the last moment, because with WWE's 2K18, they literally didn't show us anything. They kept delaying it. We got it, and it was what it was. So, Battlegrounds and so forth, Retromania Wrestling, you know, all those games, they turned out really well. We knew those were going to run great on Nintendo Switch, but a game like Fight Forever here, is it going to run well on Nintendo Switch? Most likely, because it is an arcade style. Doesn't look like it's going to be too demanding like how W2K18 is. Plus, we have Ukes behind it. You know, who's going to help port them as well here too is another question. Is it going to be Ukes and, you know, doing it themselves, or is it going to be, are they going to hire somebody to come in and help port that over to Nintendo Switch? I, for one, would love to see some more information on the Nintendo Switch version. Hopefully some gameplay here soon. We don't really know what the gameplay has been here recently. What we've seen, is it PS5, is it Xbox, is it PC? It's going to be available on all that as well here too. So I'm very curious to see how this game is going to look on Nintendo Switch. I'm excited for it. As a wrestling fan, I cannot wait for this game to come out. I think the characters look great, the models and everything too. And I think all in all, the game itself, the gameplay, the match types and everything else is just going to be fantastic. And like I said, again though guys, we have to stop comparing it to those older games, because if we do that, we're always going to be let down if they're not exactly to how those work. It seems like that's what a lot of people do. They compare a lot of these games to No Mercy and then or All Stars or what have you, and then they're like completely let down, and then they don't even give it a shot. They don't give it a chance, and they completely blast it. But again though, I for one am excited here about AEW's Fight Forever. I am just ready though to see some Nintendo Switch footage here really soon. If it does happen, I'll make sure I post it here as well too, and I'll keep you updated with all things that is AEW's Fight Forever as well here too, because like I said, excited. I know you're excited about it too, and I want to discuss it, I want to play it, I want to stream it, I want to review it all right here on the channel guys. So let me know down below what you guys think here. Are you excited? Are you a little bit kind of iffy on the Nintendo Switch version? Are you burnt from previous wrestling games and you just don't know for sure what to feel or how to feel about it? So again though, make sure you guys sound off down below here. Make sure you guys like the video if you choose to. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you turn that bell notification to keep up with all things that is Chit Chat Gaming. And as always guys, happy gaming.